Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah and this channel is all about helping you develop your personal style and in doing so increasing your confidence. If you're interested in working with me one-to-one, you can do so online or in person. And of course, I have a range of online courses. Streamline Your Style is starting soon and is on special offer. And of course, you can purchase my e-booklets, all linked below. Today's video is all about wearing white or your version of white, whatever that might be. So I've done a series of videos of how to wear, and I've picked a colour and talked about it for the various seasons. So we are going to do white today, and it's been requested quite a lot, and so has black. So I think I might do that soon as well. Let me know what kind of white suits you. I'd love to know, and as well your colour season in the comments below. So as you can see, I'm wearing white today. Now I'm a winter and white is in my colour palette. Is it my best colour? No, it's not. It's not. Definitely not. Something that gives me contrast against my skin is better for me. Now, white can look great on some winters. And if you're curious about what I'm talking about here, check out my video from a couple of weeks ago about why some colours in your colour palette don't work for you. You'll get a lot of your questions answered there, I think. So I'm going to be talking about the different seasons. I'm going to keep it fairly general, so we won't get into light spring or warm autumn. I'm just going to go into spring, autumn, summer, winter, and give you an idea of what to be looking for when it comes to your white. This might be particularly of interest to you if you are getting married and you intend on wearing white. I was working with a bride-to-be recently, and she came to see me having seen my videos. And she said, Sarah, I can't see the difference when I look at your videos online. And I said, don't worry, you'll see it when you're sitting here in front of me. And she did, she really saw the difference. So if you're looking at the videos as well and thinking, I don't see the difference, that's okay. You may be looking at this and not be a colour consultant or, have that knowledge of colour theory, and you can't expect to be an expert in something if you haven't studied it. So don't be hard on yourself. Also, it's really difficult to be objective when you're looking at colours on yourself. I bet a lot of you can relate to that. So I'm just going to start with winter because I'm a winter, I'm wearing white. Here we are. Winters can wear true white. Let's not forget about the fact that there's other qualities to colours other than cool and warm. It seems to be when people comment on my videos and stuff, they're always saying cool and warm, cool and warm. There's other qualities that you need to consider if we're talking about finding your best colours. It's not just temperature, and it's absolutely not the most important thing. It is for some people, may not be for you. Okay, so if you're in the winter category, you can definitely wear true white. Keep in mind that true white is also incredibly bright. If you have a good understanding of your colours, we're on the cool side, okay? So when we're talking about white, we're on the cool side straight away. We can also have a range of brightness when it comes to talking about these things. So if you are a winter, and particularly, I know I said I wasn't going to get into the ins and outs of the various colour seasons, but if you have a tolerance for the brightness, then true white is going to look great on you. Now again, we can get into all these complications about, skin colour and all of this. I'm giving very general sense of things here, but true white is going to be something that's going to look very good on a winter in general, especially if you're on the very brightest side of it. Now, it's not giving me much contrast. That's why I like to wear a strong lip colour. If you're interested in what lip colour I'm wearing, I did a whole video on this makeup look from last week, I'm going to say. So you can check that out. We can begin to soften our white, and I'm not sure how well this camera is going to pick up, but there's a strong light on me, but this is a soft white, believe it or not. So it's beginning to get a touch softer. This is where we add a little bit of the tiniest amount of black or grey into this colour, and it just gives it this softness, and it's not so harsh on a person. So when would you be looking for something like this? Well, as soon as you start reducing your intensity, you enter the softer zone. So this white would be fantastic on a summer. This would be a winter. If you can't see it on camera, don't worry about it. Things often look different through the lens. But the softness starts to enter, bringing the intensity or chroma down and pushing you in the direction of maybe a deep winter and into the summer seasons. That's when you're going to be wanting something with a little bit of softness in it. I would also dare to say that in most stores, they have a softer white and not a true white. The reason for that is softer whites suit more people, and true white can be incredibly stark and hard to wear if you really don't have that brightness in you. So when you look into a store, generally speaking, there's a little bit of softness in that white. If you're not sure, pick up 2 different white items and put them next to each other. That is when you see the difference. It's not just looking at one color and thinking, is it soft? Is it bright? I don't know. It's really hard to tell when you're looking at one color on its own. Compare it with something else, or bring something with you to the shop and compare the two. It's when you see the two together that you see whether something is brighter or whether it's a little bit softer. If you're enjoying this video and learning something new, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also welcome back to the regulars. It's always lovely to see you. Now let's get back to the video. I'm gonna go into something slightly different, a little bit off-white here. This is rose beige, and it is moving away from our whites a little bit, but it's a little bit of kind of a peachy tone. So if you're in the softer summer category, so your chroma is way down, this is going to start looking really nice on you. It's going to have that lovely gentle quality against your skin and your features that's not jarring, and it just looks beautifully cohesive and in line with your features. Now that we've covered the cooler sides, and I think they manage whites better because they're naturally cool, let's move over to spring and autumn now. So these are our warmer seasons and may struggle with white a little bit more. And the reason is white is generally cool and you have warm undertones. They're going to be jarring. So what do you do? Well, I'm going to show you a spring white. Now again, your intensity, your chroma levels here play a big part in this. I'm going to show you this ivory white, and you're going to think, Sarah, you're being daft. You're showing us the same drape every time, but I'm not. There are differences here. So this is ivory white, and that means there's just a hint of warmth here. So if you're a spring and you're getting married, if you had that bright quality, ivory white is going to look really good on you. And I just want to show you the true white from winter to see if you can see the difference on the screen, and maybe you can, maybe you can't. Honestly, if you're a bright spring, you know, white is going to look pretty good on you. You've got that high chroma level and temperature just isn't that important. So this is where knowing your sub-season is really important and not just knowing your main season. Another one from spring is light warm beige, and just to show you against the ivory, the difference. So we're definitely getting a little bit more yellow in the light warm beige, and here we've got our ivory. So we're increasing the amount of warmth that's evident here in our whites. So as you, let's say, reduce your chroma and maybe increase your temperature, this is where you can start to increase that level of yellow that's in your whites, and we start to enter this cream zone. Moving down into autumn now. So if we think about the autumn qualities, remember we're entering into a darker season here, therefore darker colors generally work better for you and you probably struggle with white. But here is our, if you like, our autumn white. It's called Oyster, and I am showing you different drapes every time, believe it or not. So there's a lot more warmth here. I'm going to show you the ivory white from spring. So there's our spring and there's our autumn whites. So hopefully you can see the difference between those two. And I know you might be thinking of, you know, are we really going to get caught up in these little kind of nuances of colour, and do they really make a difference? Anybody who has been to a colour consultation with me, and I go through their neutrals with them, they will tell you that these differences can have an immense impact on how you look. One colour, that subtle change, can drain the colour from your face, or it can bring the life back to your face. So I know I've shown you about, I don't know, 5 or 6 drapes here, all of different degrees of white and maybe moving into a little bit of peach there, but they all are very different, believe it or not. And when you follow your colour palette and you ensure that you pick the right whites for you, the right dark neutrals for you, and then everything else within your palette, things work together and they look fantastic on you. So although you may not see this so clearly through a screen, the difference in person is incredible, and it can dramatically change how a person looks and even feels in their clothes. So that's it for today's video. I do hope you enjoyed it and learned something new, and I'll see you again next week with another video. Take care. Bye bye.